Another way of looking at trauma is to look at one's space as something that could be full. And most of us are walking around like dented tin cans. And this phenomenon is seen with young children if they have a contracted or particularly dented space. The danger is that weak-willed children, children who really are not present or don't have themselves under control, will see that dent as a gesture that the person's making, if you will, in slow motion towards themselves, and these children come and fill out that dent or that gesture that one's doing with a violent action, either physically beating them up, kicking, or just as bad, if you will, verbal abuse. So the importance of realizing that trauma is something that's a spatial phenomenon, along with being a physiological phenomenon and a psychological phenomenon, is that one needs to clean that space and make it full to get these dents out. Otherwise, people who are weak will continue the gesture of injury that the person themselves is doing. Now, in no way do I want to say that victims of bullying, domestic violence, even accidents, are responsible for what they're doing. These are terrible wrongs that happen to someone. But the likelihood of them happening is greater if someone has been practicing that gesture. And someone going by who is not conscious, who is not really an awake, fully developed person, will sense those gestures and will be imitating the gesture that the victim themselves was doing. So a spatial dynamics approach to trauma would be to make sure that we're not continuing and perpetuating the movements that caused us pain, that caused us harm, but that we're actually creating gestures of wholeness, which then have a tendency to create wholeness.